something I wasn't going to share, but I think it's so important for you guys to know. So I did this talk at Happiness and Its Causes, Mental Health Hijackers That Could Be Lurking in Your Food. And it will be an upcoming TED Talk and an upcoming book. And I'm just going to go through it really quickly, and not something I'm going to labor on, but just something for you to start to be thinking about. So, I got really, really curious about this area of mental health and anxiety and depression and mood disorders because it was extraordinary to me. Every single time I went to school, and this is not something I had anticipated, every single time I went to a school, afterwards, phone calls, emails, bombard me on social media. Michele, that's me. I'm in a dark place, and my eating's all over the place. I'm like a roller coaster. I'm the slender ruster you were talking about. Michele, I eat 60 teaspoons of sugar a day. Extraordinary. Then I'd start to speak in corporates. And so after a corporate presentation, people would have me come in and stuff like that. It didn't matter whether the person invited me to have a consultation with them about their irritable bowel disease or about their insulin resistance. It often ended up in, Michele, I'm also suffering with a bit of anxiety and depression. So curious. I got so curious about this space, so I started researching. So anxiety and depression is very real, right? Very real, scary and silent. But there's other things that are kind of happening that are appearing like anxiety and depression and mood disorders that maybe aren't necessarily anxiety and depression, but risk factors for them. So I want to uncover a few of them for you. So, vitamin B12. I'm just going to flick up a few of the studies that I've looked at. Who's at risk of low vitamin B12? Vegans and vegetarians. Do I discriminate against them? Absolutely not. I don't discriminate against gluten-free or dairy-free or vegans or vegetarians. What I'm saying is these people need to be very aware and need to be looking at these things. If people are appearing like they have mental health disorders, they need to be tested for this. And any good GP should allow that testing. We know that there's an association between dietary patterns and mental health in early adolescence. The information is all out there. The gut biome and dietary psychiatric, a focus on depression. The link between thyroid, and I stopped, remember earlier, thyroid and depression. I cannot tell you the number of people that say to me, Michele, I've been on antidepressants for 5 years. This antidepressant has blunted me, made me gain weight. I have no libido because of the antidepressant. And no one ever checked my thyroid. Check your thyroid. Good quality breakfast associated with better mental health in adolescence. Again, there's a lot of studies out there. We know this, right? Psychiatric disorders and iron deficiencies. This is huge. 19 out of 20 of our women, females that will come into our practice will have very low iron stores. A doctor might look at the blood pathology and go, oh, you're within range. I'm always looking at low end of range. It needs to be boosted. We know that low iron has very, very big biochemical pathway links to dopamine and to neurotransmitters and things that are in the mental health space. Low iron leads to heavy periods. Heavy periods leads to low iron. Young women go around and around and around in this vicious circle, often come to our practice. They say, we're about to go on antidepressants and medication. And I go, that's fine, but not until we do your blood test and iron stores. Put them on an iron supplement, 6 weeks, have them come back into clinic. How you going? Do you want me to talk to your doctor today about whatever you're going to do, the Lexapro, whatever? No, I'm actually feeling a bit better. Really? I cannot even tell you how often this happens. Very, very big for people to be looking at that. Who is at risk? A lot of people are at risk of low iron, but particularly vegans and vegetarians. Then this, we should all be so proud of this, and it makes me cry, is Deakin University. The top, most gold standard trial in the area of depression came out of Deakin University this year with the most amazing Professor Felice Jacka, who I've been on stage with many times, mad researcher. The randomized controlled trial, if any of you know these kind of trials, this is the gold standard. The whole entire world is looking at this study right now. Dietary improvements with adults with major depression called the SMILES trial. It is awesome, and it is going to rock the whole psychiatric world because finally we are able to prove, because a lot of people want the proof, they want the research, that there are big links between this, and that's awesome. That is so awesome because we know that mental health is multifactorial, right? It's stress, it's lifestyle, it's genetics, it's virus. Mental health is so many things that we can't control, but we can control what we eat. How amazing is that, just to be able to go, okay, if I can help with 1% of 5%, that's 1% of 5% we never had before. Awesome. Okay, let's have a quick look at some case studies, and then we're going to do a day in your life. And I show the case studies to get you thinking about your own health, okay? So we've got Chelsea, teacher, 2 children. She has toast on the run in the morning. This is probably not unlike many of us. She has a coffee. She has a muffin, a healthy muffin, a salad for lunch, just a green salad with a little bit of protein in it, and like a can of tuna like that big, right? By the afternoon, by 5 o'clock, she said she's so starving she wants to chew her fingers off. I said, I understand, I get that. She has a bit of wine, and then she said it's all downhill. She said, then I go for the chocolate and sometimes more wine. And she's saying this sheepishly to me, and I'm like, Chelsea, I understand. I was that person. I totally get that, and that's okay. She said she was really concerned about being anxious, moody, tired, lack of concentration, very heavy periods. She'd like to lose 40 kilos before her 45th birthday, and her blood sugar was all over the place. Well, that's no surprise. She was eating a whole lot of twigs and not a lot of fat and protein. Do you see this picture a lot in yourself, your friends, your people you love, right? This is the normal person, right? This is normal. So what did we do with Chelsea? First of all, we started to get her eat 3 meals. 3 meals that are satiating. Food should not be a fear. You can eat an abundance of vegetables and protein and fat and not be gaining weight. When it's whole, real food, there's no sugar in that kind of stuff. The thing about making fat, protein, and your carbs tasty is adding spice to them. So I said, Chelsea, stop fearing the fact that you're going to skip meals, because that's dumb. Skipping meals usually leads to brain fog and then a binge afterwards, right? How many of us know that? Like, we binge at night, beat ourselves up, right? Okay, tomorrow morning I'm going to starve myself. You starve yourself. You get to morning tea or you get to lunch. You want to kill somebody. You want to bang into the vending machine. You're so cranky, and then you eat double or triple what you wanted to eat, and then you feel sluggish and go, oh, I hate myself again, right? We know this. I know this story completely. Okay, so she's like, Michele, I get 3 meals a day. This is crazy. Yeah, we're going to do 3 meals a day because we're going to get your blood sugar in this space. And as soon as your blood sugar starts to go like that, you're going to go, and everything else is going to follow. So 3 meals, and I get her to question, where's your fat? Where's your protein? Where's your complex carbohydrate? For Chelsea, I didn't let her eat a complex carbohydrate at night at dinner because she didn't need that. She wanted to lose a little bit of weight. So instead, she'd have abundance of protein with lots of green vegetables or broccoli or cauliflower, but not starchy carbohydrates at night, okay? Chocolate. So I said, Chelsea, this is not about deprivation. I said, anybody who puts themselves in deprivation, from my perspective, always bounces out and gains the extra kilo, right? So this is not about deprivation. Everything in my philosophy and a healthy view is about abundance, crowding in so much good that you forget about the junk of the past. People that are in our practice go, I've never eaten so much food my whole entire life, lost so much weight and feel so good. This is crazy. Yeah, I know. It's just simple changes and things. Okay, always check people for iron and ferritin, particularly if they have heavy periods. Highly advise everybody in this room to get themselves a wide mouth thermos or something that you can put your dinner in from the night before. So we have an online program called Low Sugar Lifestyle. We're going to give 5 out for free at the end. But in that program, every single recipe has a way to turn that meal into lunch the next day. The smartest people I know, the people that I know with the best health habits, I'm telling you, like some of the leading politicians of Australia, I will say to them, what do you have for lunch? Oh, what I had for dinner last night. No, be proud, because most of the time what you had for dinner last night has had time and thought put into it. We often don't have time for lunch, right? Or it's super expensive to find something. So get something that you can bring food in the next day, whether it's a wide mouth thermos or something like that. If you know kids, get them to start this. Is it going to happen every day? No. But we know when we're having dinner from the night before, it's usually packed with abundance of nutrients, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, all those things that we need. So I know it sounds silly, wide mouth thermos, something big, something to carry something in. Get good at cooking once, eating twice. I always use that phrase, right? So in my house, I've got 3 teenagers. One of them is a 19-year-old rugby player. So I'm cooking once and eating 6 times because he eats everything. A water bottle. So many people mistake their hydration for hunger, right? And think about this. Think about a flower like that's bent over, right, in the pot, and then you give it water and all of a sudden it comes back up. That is exactly what happens to a child's brain and our brain, right? Really, really, really important to be thinking about people's hydration. I know it sounds super silly to spend money on a water bottle. Make an investment in a water bottle that you like, because if you like it, you tend to drink more from it. I know that sounds super silly, and people that know me know I hate spending money frivolously, but I think it is such a nice thing to be, oh, I like that water bottle, I'm gonna have a drink of it. Keep it around you. And start becoming a tea collector, right? So there's all sorts of teas out there, from expensive teas like a 2T to inexpensive teas. One of the best teas you can buy if you are a sugar muncher is Celestial Seasonings, and it's called Bengal Spice, Bengal. It's cinnamon and it's sweet, and people go, there's no way, Michelle, it's gotta have sugar in it. So, but become a tea collector. It's a great way of going, oh, I'm having something nice, I'm doing something nice for myself with a handful of nuts, as opposed to being in deprivation. Okay, let's have a little quick look at, make food fun, of course, and have a look at all of our recipes, as well as Low Sugar Lifestyle Program, Cook Once, Eat Twice. Okay, here's another case study. I just used the name Chelsea again, I don't know why, but her name is really Allie. Has anybody heard me do the talk, Mental Health Hijackers? Has anybody seen that on my Facebook? 23,000 people watched it after we put it up. It's crazy. Put it up. 23,000 people just on Facebook. Okay, so I talked about this person. I talked about this is a real person in my life. Her name is Allie. When you get a chance, have a little look at that on Facebook. I think you'll all like it. So her name is really Allie. She's in year 9. She dislikes breakfast. She's never that really hungry at lunch. She inhales dinner, goes crazy at 8 o'clock for chocolate. She's vegan-ish, as a lot of these young people are vegan or vegetarian, right? They're like going on this fad and swinging around that. Loves cereal and toast, wants to feel better and like herself. Again, this is a comment that I hear constantly, not just with girls, but with boys. So I was recently going to, I don't know, an all-boys school for a talk. And I was on the middle of a radio interview, I don't know with who it was, and I said, I gotta go now, so I'm going to speak at, I don't know, let's say Shore. And the guy was a male interviewer, and he goes, oh, good luck with that, boys and nutrition. And I said to him, you know, Ed, I said, you should actually come along someday. I said, because it will surprise you how much boys, as much as girls, want to feel good about themselves. They really, really want to feel good about themselves. Not just from a vanity perspective, but they do. You know, it's like, oh, yeah. No, they do. Okay, so what was going on with her? She was anxious, moody, lack of concentration, ADHD, glandular fever. So get her to go for all the tests. She had just been put on ADHD medication. Again, I'm not against that at all, but she'd been put on it. So I'm speaking in a school, and I'm talking about the healthy girl. And I said, the healthy girl isn't about being the skinny girl. The healthy girl is about being the vibrant girl, the cheeky girl. She might be, you know, everybody imagine this girl. So I get all the girls to imagine this. Anyway, Allie comes into our practice with her mother. A couple of months later says, Mom, this is the nutty nutritionist I told you about. She made so much sense, and I'm on a blood sugar swing all the time, blah, blah, blah. And she said, Michele, she said, I've been on ADHD medication for the last 6 months. And she said, is my academics getting better? She said, definitely. She said, but I'm like, no highs, no lows. And she said, my friend said to me, hey, Allie, just wanted to check in with you. You know that fun girl that Michele was talking about, the one who's kind of cheeky, causing a little bit of stir sometimes? They go, Allie, you used to be that fun girl. What happened with you? Now, this is Allie telling the story to me in front of her mother. There's no, you can't make this story up. So Allie turns to her mom and says, I don't think this ADHD medication is serving me. She said, I'm sort of feel like I'm blunted. She said, I think that I don't really have ADHD. She said, I think I've been having 70 teaspoons of sugar a day. And so we went on to work with Allie with doctors and psychiatrists and counselors and stuff like that, and just amazing, amazing results, right? Just from food, just amazing results. So we got Allie to do stop late night eating because that led to her being tired but wired. Anybody that's eating a bag or a half a bag of jelly snakes before you go to bed, or two yogurts, innocent looking yogurts, or a smoothie, or a flavored milk. You saw those things today, right? It's easy to do that. It's no wonder we have a world but tired but wired people. That leads to insulin dysregulations, that leads to brain fog, that leads to blood sugar going like this, right? You can see all those connected dots now. Okay, eating 3 meals a day. Where's your protein, fat, carbohydrate? Allie, there's going to be no more cereal for Allie, because Allie was like, you know what? There's a lot of really crap cereal out there. If you want to have muesli, that's fine. But start to add things into that muesli. Add some seeds, add some nuts, add some cocoa nibs, add some stuff into that and make it full of stuff. But most of the boxed cereals that we have, and somebody had the Raisin Bran here today. I think there was 4 teaspoons in the tiny little cup, right? Because those raisins are actually coated with sugar in the Sultana brand. How crazy is that? That they cover the raisins in sugar. So cereal, no. So we moved her away straight away from having that kind of breakfast into a more substantial breakfast, even a smoothie for breakfast. She said, oh no, I heard smoothies are bad for you. No, not at all. Put some almond milk in. Even put some clean protein powder in. So somebody asked me that earlier about protein powder. I believe that there's a time and a place for protein powders. I'm not a huge fan, always food first. But if someone is super time poor, and most of you are, in the bullet, a scoop of protein powder, a scoop of nut butter of some kind, some almond milk or regular milk or whatever, a bit of water, some chia seeds, and a whole bunch of berries. 30 seconds in the blender, you whip up, you take the thing off, and you take it to go. That's the nice thing about the NutriBullet, because you could just take it to go, right? I mean, I know I'm time poor as well, but then you've got everything in that. You've got your protein in it. You've got your fat in it. Sometimes I'll put a scoop of coconut milk, butter in it, or coconut milk or coconut oil, just for the extra fat. Sometimes I'll put avocado in it. It is amazing what you can do in a smoothie, right? So got her into doing that. She loved goat's cheese, so got her into buying some good quality bread and put some goat's cheese and avocado on it. Every single thing that I talk about in our practice is easy, tasty, and healthy. If it's not easy and it's not tasty, it's not going to be repeatable. And if it's not repeatable, it's not going to become a lifetime habit. I'm not here to talk about a fad and to talk to you and make you better for a week. I'm here to talk to you about making people and yourself better for a lifetime, right? So it's got to be tasty and easy and quick. I know. Okay, definitely got her to get a water bottle, a thermos, similar things that we did earlier with the mom. Okay, so make fun foods. Okay, so how do we get energy, vitality, and happy hormones? The first thing is we're looking for where's your protein, where's your fat, and where's your carbohydrate. So in something like this, which is a chili, you go, oh, black beans are your carbohydrate, you've got fat in your avocado, and you've got lots of starchy vegetables in there for your carb. So I'm always thinking, where's your protein, where's your fat, where's your carb? I don't want people to be forgetting about the importance of sleep and sunlight. Don't forget about eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner and not skipping those things, right? Where's your water? Buy yourself a good water bottle. Do not eat lunch like a bird. This is where a lot of people go crazy. Oh, Michele, I had beautiful coleslaw for lunch. Really? Like, that would make me want to kill somebody. Okay, where is your protein and where is your carb in that? I see so many people underestimating the importance of a good lunch. When I'm talking about protein, I'm not talking about a tiny can of tuna. Sometimes when you're in blood sugar stabilizing mode for a while, you gotta even eat a big can of tuna on that salad. Right? And where's a little bit of carb in that? Really, really important. It is the people that often forego lunch or do a tiny weeny lunch like just coleslaw or salad that go ballistic at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and are looking for the Tim Tams. I know, I used to be that person. Think about adding probiotic food to your world. I love taking probiotics, but I love taking them in food. Things like kimchi, things like sauerkraut, things like coconut yogurt have probiotics in them. Do not underestimate the divide by 4 that you now know and you are empowered with. When you go home tonight and you're looking through your pantry, you're going to divide by 4, right? Okay, don't forget about your wide mouth thermoses. There's lots of them. Okay. Let's stop. Do you all have a piece of paper? How much time do we have, PJ?
We need 10.
Okay, so we have a couple more minutes. I want you to look at a day tomorrow. I want you to write down a day in your life. I want you to write down, because the thing is, if you get you right, you can then be the butterfly effect to everybody else. So use these things in mind. Where's your fat? Where's your protein? Where's your carb? So let's just go through proteins. Meat, chicken, eggs. I'm going to write a book, 365 Ways to Cook an Egg, right? So my kids are always laughing. Eggs scrambled, eggs poached. I don't even care if they're fried occasionally. Eggs in a quiche. What do you make eggs? Okay, that's going to get boring, Michele. Oh, pair it up with some guacamole. Pair it up with some salsa. How about some pesto? Oh, what about some sweet potato that's left over from the night before? What about the vegetables before they went in a stir fry? Because Michele told me to cook once, eat twice. I made so many vegetables before I added the meat into the stir fry. I'm going to take those vegetables, I'm going to throw them in the fry pan while I'm scrambling my eggs. I'm going to throw the scrambled eggs on top. Boom, I've got a meal in 2 minutes. That's awesome. I was reading my Facebook, the things were cooking. That's cool. I add a slice of avocado. Boom, I'm gone. Then when you get to morning tea, you're going to be like, wait a minute, I feel so satiated. I don't even feel like having morning tea. So I want you to think things for morning tea. Where's your nuts? Any kind of nuts. I don't care what they are. Brazil nuts are great for our thyroid, but a handful of nuts in a cup of tea. If you're drinking coffee or tea, I don't mind that. Try to reduce the amount of dairy that's coming in your life, unless it's organic or unless it's maybe A2, least inflammatory in your body. I'm not against dairy at all. Some people have to go off it, and some people have to go off gluten. That should be for a time and a place, and our body should be able to reintroduce that in most people. But I'm just giving you some general guidelines here, right? I love nuts at morning tea and afternoon tea, or like a rice cracker. Put some nut butter on it. Put some peanut butter on it. Pig's peanut butter. Who's tried that? Anybody? That's insane, that stuff. Who's tried Maver's nut butters? Okay, if you haven't, you need to. Maver's, M-A-Y-V-E-R-S. I should buy stock in this company, right? It's got so many different nut butters. Awesome tasting. You can buy them at Kohl's and Woolies, and I think there's only one that has a tiny bit of sugar in it, and that tastes like Nutella. Great replacement. Like, you're not going to feel deprivation. You're going to be like, oh, this is crazy. This is so insanely good. How come more people aren't talking about this kind of stuff? Okay, lunch. What I advise for most of you to be thinking about is, what did you have the night before? Okay, usually that's our most well thought out meal. So if it's chicken, these are simple things that I do. I get lots and lots of spices. I get Thai spice, Moroccan spice, Indian spice. You name the spices, right? Again, I want to buy a spice company actually, right? Take all these spices. I take 2 teaspoons of the spices. I take my olive oil, or macadamia nut oil, or some kind of oil, right? Whole bunch of lemon or lime. I put it in a container, I shake it up. I take my protein, whatever it is, chicken, fish, meat, whatever, and I might marinate it for the day. Come 6 o'clock at night when I come home, I take that and I bake it, I barbecue it, or I stir fry it. There's only a certain amount of proteins that we have. But if I all of a sudden make chicken Moroccan one night, Thai one night, Indian another night, I've got a whole lot of variety and I've got a party in my mouth. If my taste buds feel happy, then I'm going to make it repeatable. See where I'm going with this? Okay, so olive oil is in abundance in my house because it's a great fat. Use olive oil liberally. It will dampen sugar cravings. At lunch, when you're having salad with protein on it and maybe some brown rice or some starchy carbs, walnut oil, hazelnut oil, start to explore those other kind of oils. They're expensive. Buy them in small, dark bottles and put them on your vegetables because boring old broccoli can taste, wow, this is amazing with some chili flakes on it and hazelnut oil. Who knew this could taste so good? And all of a sudden you're packing in all this goodness and your taste buds are going, I'm liking this. I'm not starving. Oh, so, okay, do you get that kind of thing going on? Okay, come afternoon tea, again, I like for people to be thinking about homemade snacks that you've made through our low sugar lifestyle program or any of our free recipes, or there's an abundance of books on the market, right? That maybe on Saturday or Sunday you've taken some time to make. Or if you're buying grab and go, you're going to be good at looking at things now and seeing what's kind of healthy. Don't underestimate a good quality cup of tea, a big tea, and staying hydrated. People will ask me all the time, hey, Michele, you recommend eating 3 times a day and 2 meals in between. I highly recommend that if you are moving to a lower sugar way of life, because sometimes you've got to transition and eat regularly for 3 or 4 months before you drop the morning tea and afternoon tea. You might not ever do that. You might just be happy pottering along like that. But what you don't want to do is drop them too early, because then your blood sugar dips. That's when the hungry, crazy person comes out and goes, I'm going to bang into the vending machine, right? Keep your blood sugar stabilized. I promise you, it is an unbelievable journey. Okay, who's struggling with thoughts with what to have for breakfast? Okay, do you like eggs? Okay. What about a smoothie? Does the idea of a smoothie appeal to you? Okay, smoothies are great. Always make sure you throw in, I always say the one thing that everybody should be having every day is chia seeds or flax seeds. Put it on your salad, put it in your soup, put it in your smoothie. So smoothies are great breakfast options. A good piece of bread, a good piece of toast, right? Even some gluten-free breads now are quite good. Beware when you're buying anything gluten-free, it's often high in sugar, but a good piece of bread with some nut butter on it. Simple, keep it simple. You know, hard-boiled eggs, again, a young, an all-boys school that I'm looking after, all these sports boys, right? So I said to them, I want them to start to eat more eggs if they could. So the headmaster calls me the following week, goes, Michele, the rugby team's like really taking this on. They love it. It's a big problem though. The whole locker room stinks like boiled eggs. So the thing is, you can make boiled eggs the night before, right? So eggs are just the most amazing protein, amazing, amazing protein, and they're inexpensive, right? But even rice crackers with a whole bunch of guacamole on the top. I mean, you got to be thinking outside the box. A muesli. I would always buy a fruit-free muesli, and I'd add coconut shreds to it. I'd add seeds and nuts to it. I might top it a little bit with some coconut yogurt or some clean yogurt. I always buy plain yogurt or coconut yogurt, right? I never buy anything that has fruit in it because I'm happy to add my own fruit. Don't underestimate vanilla essence or mint essence or peppermint essence to put into a smoothie. All of a sudden, if you're using a clean protein powder, and by that I mean a protein powder that when you read the label, it says grass-fed whey protein powder, and nothing else that you cannot possibly pronounce. I mean, you cannot believe the stuff that some of these kids are buying. It's crazy. A company that I recommend, again, I have no allegiance to, is Nuzest, N-U-Z-E-S-T. They make a clean protein powder. There's several clean protein powders on the market. Do I love protein powder? No. For people that are busy on the go to add it to a smoothie, occasionally. Questions? No? Okay. So does that give you some more ideas? Yeah. I would always go for, if you're really going to embrace this kind of way, I'd go for even having a muesli at home that definitely doesn't have fruit in it, because there's mueslis and there's muesli. Carmen's that you can buy in Kohl's and Woolies has a fruit-free muesli. That's really good. Add some fruit to it. You know, even take one date, chop it up, because it will be far less amount of sugar than what you would normally have. Now, I am catching a plane at 1 o'clock, but this is what I want to say to you all. Can't believe how much I can talk. I know that's crazy. My kids I drive my family crazy, right? I love what I do. I've had lots of other careers, and this will be my final career. So when you reach out to me, because I know that you all will, either on Instagram or Facebook, or you might even have a question following up this session, because I can't be here for lunch. When you reach out to me and ask me for help, please don't say, hey, Michelle, I'm sorry to bother you, or you call me, because I will tell you all this, specifically for this group. You are not my bother. You are so my purpose. I love what I do, so please don't hesitate to reach me. I have an amazing team of people. I've had a couple of people here already reach out to me about a few things, so please follow up with me. You have my details inside your package. There should be a board going around now with your names on it. If you wouldn't mind passing that forward. Has anybody signed that? So you'll have the option, you'll get a newsletter with a few recipes on it, and you have the option just to completely opt out. We send a newsletter maybe, let's say, once every 6 weeks with where we're speaking, what we're doing, some good recipes on it, but you can easily opt out of that. PJ, I'm just going to get you to pick the first 3 people from here and the last 3 people from there. And if your name is called, please shoot me an email this afternoon or tomorrow, because you'll be on our next round of Low Sugar Lifestyle program. So again, I'll just leave you with, thank you so much. I know this is sitting here for a long time, lots of information to talk about. Don't hesitate to reach out to me, and thank you.